Hey, what's up? It's your boy Big Game James. And before we get started, remember, subscribe and also hit that bell so you get notified every time we drop brand new content. This is Games Journeys to the Draft. Games Journeys to the Draft is brought to you by Totally Fresh. Totally Fresh, the male hygiene deodorant that's 100% organic and helps keep you fresh in those areas that other things just don't reach. So I want to do a series because I've often got questions about what it was like going through the draft process. And let me say, it was one of the most stressful times in my life because it was at a point in time in my life where I had no real big priorities and responsibilities in life. All I had to do was do my best on the football field and pray that I would be rewarded with a chance to play in the NFL. And I did receive that chance. But the process is a little bit different. So I decided to come up with something called Games Journey to the Draft, which is just a little three-part shorts of my draft experience leading up until draft weekend. You know, the draft has changed a lot. Draft is now prime time. Thursday nights it gets kicked off and runs for 3 days, and it's a big experience for these young men, and I'm happy for all of them to have this chance to live their dream. But I just wanted to do something that kind of connected my viewers and listeners to me to let you know what it was like for me during the time that I came out in the draft. So part one is going to be the agent process. So, you have a good season and you start knowing that you have a chance when general managers start calling your university, your coaches, and your sports information department, getting information on you, also stopping by, talking with you in the film room during the season at different points of time, and you start realizing that, hey, I might have a chance for this thing to happen. But then, out of nowhere, the floodgates will open, and agents started coming out of nowhere. And this was a real crazy process because back in the late 90s, technology was just getting to where email was popular and working, and these guys were finding ways to get email addresses, calling phone companies, trying to get phone numbers because there wasn't a whole lot of cell phones back then, unless you had that dope boy block phone like Too Short and them had in the music videos. So they would go and do anything they could to get a hold of you, and even to where it's just sending questionnaires and letters and all this stuff. So the agent process started. My pops and I talked about how we were going to handle the situation, and we had just kind of we just kind of determined that we weren't going to really sit down and meet with a bunch of agents till after my final game my senior year. That's just kind of what we came up with. So if anybody called during the season, a lot of time I would refer those phone calls back to my pops in California to let him handle those phone calls and start setting up the meetings and everything. But it's funny because when you talk to a lot of people, the first thing they think of when you say agent is Tom Cruise and Jerry Maguire, and they thinking, show me the money. And that part comes later, and it's a great entertainment point in the movie, but it's really different when you're a young player coming out, especially when you're slotted to go from the third round through the seventh round. So you got different tiers of agents. You got your big boys in the game who's still in the game, like a Drew Rosenhaus, and back in the you got a Eugene Parker. Then you got guys you got to watch out for. Some guys came out back in the day, promised some guys what they can do, stole power of attorney, took millions of dollars from young men, but they housed them with cars and jewelry early on. And, you will get that process. The agent process will come out. They'll tell you what they can do for you. They can tell you how they can help you get drafted. And that's one of the biggest mistakes that most young people fall into. An agent can help with certain things, and especially nowadays. Your marketing campaign is big, and you can make so much money on the marketing side, along with playing the game, to where that's where your agent and your marketing team is going to really work for you. They're going to help get you those endorsement dollars and things outside of football. But realistically, to me, and even speaking with agents I'm still close with and talk to, a lot of it, your play is going to determine what happens with you in that draft, that you are just to be seen. If your tape is out there and teams that have do their due diligence in their scouting departments, you're going to get your chance. No, if anybody comes and says, "Hey, we're going to get you drafted," they're lying. They can't get you drafted. They may get you seen, but your ability and your talent is going to be what gets you drafted. And so many people fall between the cracks thinking, "Oh, I didn't go to the NFL because my agent sucked." If you didn't go to the NFL, it's because you probably just didn't have the tools that it took to make it. And that's no knock on anybody, man. This is hard. Less than 3% of people, less than 1% of people in this country, this world, ever have a chance to play in the National Football League. So, it's slim to no. I mean, it's hard, but I have a lot of great memories and experiences, and I just remember the process of being called, being courted, and I was very tempted at one point in time. A guy called me. I was like, "Hey, man, we really want you to sign with us, and what do you want? We can get you custom jewelry. What kind of car you like?" I was talking to someone else. They said that you really wanted a Chevy Tahoe. I can get you a blacked out Chevy Tahoe, or what is it that you want? How much money do you need? And the thing is, I already was schooled on game from some other people that I talked to that, anything you borrow and take from an agent, you owe them that when you get drafted. So here it is. You'll take all these cars, this jewelry, this money, these suits, right? And as soon as you get drafted, and as soon as that your contract is negotiated and you get that signing bonus, you get that invoice from your agent saying what you owe him for everything he gave you in the off season. So, I did go through the selection process. I made a couple of different trips. I had a couple of agents flew me out. It was after the season, so everything was over. Nothing was illegal through NCAA guys. But, I flew out to Atlanta. I met with some agents in Atlanta, California, and some guys from Detroit. At one point in time, I really thought that, being an African-American, I wanted to give an African-American agent a chance. And, big name like Eugene Parker never really got back with me or talked to me because, he was big time, Deion Sanders' agent. And he had a lot of big wigs, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it worked out because I ended up with the firm that I was supposed to end up with, a company out of California, man. They did a great job. They schooled me of what to expect along the way. They kept it all the way 100 with me. They never lied to me about, they never said one time, "James, we're going to get you drafted. That's what we do." They told me different things that could help me get as far as outside of football, putting me in contact with the right financial firm, people like that, different kind of shoe deals when I did get signed. But it was never a promise of the moon. And up front, like, "Hey, if there's anything you need, let me know. But we will have to recoup this in the end." So I was never like, "Oh man, look at me, I'm iced out. I got the Rolex, I got the NFL chain," and all of a sudden I got hit with a secret bill. I was very close to taking that vehicle from this, when I got with it. I said, "Hey, this other agency offered me a car." And he's like, "Yeah, I could get you a car, but it's going to cost you this because I got to pay the bill until you get paid." I was like, "I'm cool with the car I got." So I kept rolling my little 1987 Dodge Ram mini truck. Yep, I had a mini truck, y'all. And if y'all saw my big butt in it, you would have died laughing. The agent process came. My father and I, like I said, I picked a guy named Lee Collegian out of California, Mouthpiece Sports. He worked with a lot of boxers. He'd worked with Keyshawn Johnson for a while. Vaughn Parker, offensive tackle for the San Diego Chargers. J.R. Redmond. A lot of different people, man, that was kind of mid to late tier guys, but did a really good job when it came to the renegotiation and new contracts. He was good at that. So, and he had a guy that was just so persistent in his work that we're best friends to this day. He's my kid's godfather. He's still in the business of being a sports, of an agent and working with people. But my man Elijah Smith was just a straight go-getter. And even when I told him that I wasn't going to interview any agents until after the season to, call my stepfather, my pops in California, with any questions, he would still reach out to me about once a week. So he might just shoot me an email, quick call, "Hey, just checking on you, big fella. Everything going good? How your workouts going? If you need anything, let me know." So by the end of the process, going into these interviews, I'd already had things made up in my mind that I thought that Mouthpiece Sports was going to be the right company for me, and that these were going to be the right guys to work with to help me, transition from college to the NFL. they never overpromised, but they always over delivered for me. And so it was a great process for me. You know, I didn't have anybody run around. I didn't have to scream, get on the phone. I didn't make nobody say, show me the money or anything like that. No crazy catchphrases. But the whole process, man, is just, you know, when I think back on it and look at it, it was a lot of fun. It was a good time, a little bit stressful. And it's so funny because my college roommate at the time was 2 years younger than me. And he was like, man, I feel like I'm getting drafted. All these guys calling. I can't wait till it's my turn. And it was a cool process to where sometimes, you know, you would avoid the telephone because you didn't know who was going to be on the other end of that telephone. And this was some shade tree guys that I interviewed and talked to that was just like, oh my God, never. And, you know, my pops called me like, hey, so-and-so called me today. I did some research and I called the NFLPA. This guy's not even licensed. So if he called you again, just don't even answer the phone. I told him that we'll let him know what we're going to do after the season is all wrapped up and done and when we make our decision. And, you know, thank God, man, for my pops and how he kind of took the lead and he forced himself to learn something that he didn't know a lot about because he wanted to help me make the right decision. And when I did narrow it down to who I was going to go with, he said, hey, this is what you need to do. All these agents that you took meetings with, these agents that flew you to their hometowns to court you and try to get you, you need to reach out to those guys. Tell them your decision and why you made the decision you made and thank them for wanting to represent you going forward to the NFL. And, you know, I was young, 22 years old, and I'm like, I got to call these people and tell them that I don't want them. How, you know, if I don't sign with them, they know. He said, no, you're going to learn now the process of what it takes. And this is what a man would do. So I picked up the phone. Every agent that I didn't sign with that flown me out, and it came down to like 3. So I had like 3-4 people to call and let them know that I decided to go a different direction, make a different decision, and that it wasn't easy. And all these guys were really good people, but like I said, it worked out best. Pretty much had one agent my whole career that, like I said, under promised and over delivered all the time. Everything was always realistic. So that's just one part of my journey of this draft process. Was selecting that agent, was picking my Jerry Maguire, the guy that was going to help Big Game James stay focused, work on things for me behind the scenes, but also just educate me along the way. And that's what he did. I was educated about what goes on in the game, how it goes on, and what I should or shouldn't expect in the game. Next, part 2 is coming up. It'll be a little bit different. And then the third part will be draft day. So y'all get ready. As we get closer and closer to this NFL draft, Game's going to take you on this journey of what he went through along the way. Hey, again, thank you all so much for watching and checking this out. Remember, if you are watching this, like the content, go ahead, subscribe. I dare you. And then after that, click that bell so you get notified every time that we go on. I run 2 live shows every week, Big Game Sports Buzz and the Sports Chop Shop with my boys A. Reed and Chase Stoggs. Hot sports topics. You will never be disappointed, I promise. Thank you for tuning in, and go check out Totally Fresh. It's your boy, Big Game James, and this is my journey to the draft. It's your boy, Big Game James. And before you start, remember, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop brand new content. Yesterday, I started a new series called Game's Journey to the Draft, and I'm going to continue to do that right here with Volume 2, Training. Hey, but before we do that, let's give a shout out to our sponsor, Totally Fresh. Totally Fresh, the 100% organic male genitalia deodorant that helps keep you fresh in those hard-to-reach places. So we talked yesterday about the selection of picking an agent. And once you get that done, most agents are going to start scrambling to get you ready to get trained and ready for the combine and also the draft process. So there's a lot of different things that went on and a lot of processes that went on. And the team that my guys used were based out of LA, had this hill not too far and around the Dorsey High School area, man, and a guy by the name of Danny Daniels, man, that made a lot of famous NFL guys and journeymen and everybody else run this hill that they almost make you pass out and fall out. And it was just one of those things where it was made to break you. It's funny nowadays, the training facilities are way more state of the art, and they were just coming around and evolving when I got started. But now you have places like Exos, Michael Johnson Performance, IMG Academy. Before it was the IMG School, was a place that a lot of guys went to down in Florida and some other places in Florida. But the agent's going to get you hooked up, working out with a trainer. I went to a place, I don't think it's even around anymore, called Fast Twitch, and it was all about working the negative and working with speed coaches, and then also working with the coaches at the University of Nevada to help that strength regiment when I was there. So like during the week, I would work out in Reno with my strength coaches, then down to LA some weekends, working out, training, and trying to get prepared for the combine. But this is a crazy thing when it comes to the training. I did all this stuff, did all this training, and I didn't even get a combine invite, which was no big deal. My agent said, don't worry about it. Just master your pro day. So, you train. Some teams are going to tell you, hey, we want you this big. We're going to have you play a 2-gap system. Some teams like, hey, we want you to stay where you are. We want you fast and quick. We run a 1-gap system. So you're just going to be penetrating your gap and helping keep people off the linebackers, blah, blah, blah. So you get turned in 95 different directions. I remember my weight was getting up. I went on a physical for one team, and they told me, get it back down to where I was, my playing weight. They wanted me no bigger than 280. Some teams told me that they wanted me to get up to closer to 300. It's crazy, and it pulled you in every direction possible, not knowing what to go, not knowing what to do. But the most important thing was just being prepared and ready for that pro day that was going to be approaching, so that you could really solidify who you were off the field, what your measurements were off the field, the Wonderlic test, things like that. I knew my play was going to be fine. I knew that it was going to be the intangibles, the little measurables that they could get when they came to visit me in Reno, on those pro days, to see what I did. And I think a lot of it, not even just about the times you run, but how you perform under pressure. And I believe that's what, the training part does. The training part is more of a mental aspect where you get after it, you put the work in, you up early in the morning working out. And then that's why a lot of guys take off of school when they get ready for the draft. They don't even go back to classes after their bowl games, or if they sign with agents. And some kids now, they skip bowl games just to get ready for the draft as well. So you do that. I would get up early in the morning, get a workout in, go to class, a workout again in the afternoon, eating all the time, just really making sure that that regiment was top notch and ready to go, so that I'd be prepared to do what I needed to do. And the training that took place down in Orange County, California was amazing. Working out on the beaches at times, running the mountains, the hills. It was phenomenal. And it got me ready. So y'all stay ready as well. Next step in this thing, pro day. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll let you know what that pro day was like on the next episode. Big Game James, Game's Journey to the Draft. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Big Game James, host of Big Game Sports Buzz, and former NFL defensive lineman for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Indianapolis Colts. Today, I am continuing Game's Journey to the Draft, Pro Day. So, I talked about the selection of an agent. I talked about training, and now it's time for Pro Day. So, you start this training, the combine comes around, you go do the combine, then you have a Pro Day at your university. And I got to admit, because of our linebacker, Deshaun Miles, and our quarterback, John Dutton, along with myself and a few other guys, we had a pretty big pro day. There was a lot of guys there, a lot of teams there to check everybody out. Everyone talks about how the combine is a meat market, and guys are walked out on stage and paraded around, and looks like, modern day slave auction is what some people call the combine. I don't think it's that extreme, but the pro day at the school can get a little intense also, but it's really a great thing. My agent flew up into town, did all my training, like I said, down in LA at Fast Twitch and with Doc Danny Daniels, and teams came up, started out, a few questions, gave you the Wonderlic test. I had to take that test. Then took you to get your height, your weight, and then we started out with bench press, which was a great time for me. At the time, I was coming out to get drafted guys. They measured me at 6'2.5". I always say I'm 6'3". That the league shorted me a half an inch, but they marked me at 6'2.5", 280 pounds, and small weight for a D tackle nowadays, but worked out great for me. I went to the weight room, did our warm up. Bench press was first. I decided that I wanted to wait. I didn't want to go first. I wanted a couple guys to go before me. So then I got down, hit my bench press, 225, 30 times. Pretty impressive mark. I was hoping to get anywhere from 25 to 30. Did that, knocked it out. Did our vertical. Can't lie to you, I can't remember what my vertical is. I know I was able to dunk. I could jump up. I could dunk a basketball back in the day when I was still very athletic. So I can't remember what my vertical was. It was nothing crazy. Although we did have one of our guys did like 30-something, like NBA kind of numbers. Anyway, did that. Then, the big 40-yard dash. And everyone says that scouts have a slow clock on that track and on the grass. And I ran a 4.98 in my 40 time twice, 5 flat one time. Moving pretty good. Like I said, not the biggest tackle in the world, but moving around to where it's funny because all the teams showing all the interest and love. The Buccaneers said, "Hey, we want to do a private workout with you once everybody's done, get some more stuff." So I did some agility workout for the Buccaneers. Never thought anything of it, but because the Colts, the Panthers, the Jaguars, the Ravens were showing way more interest as far as the phone calls, more questions, more interviews after the workout. So finished my workout, did my private workout. 40 numbers were good. Workout overall went great. Met with my agent afterwards. He was there, stands watching, went out, got something to eat, talked, and chances look pretty good. But, it's still a waiting and a guessing game. Pro day comes, you do good. That area scout leaves, depending on how big the school is. You may have offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, position coaches come in. But for me, it was just area scouts. Great job though. They in there talking to them. Great feeling. They leave. Started getting a couple phone calls from certain people. Still at this time, not knowing what's going to happen, man. Like I said, the pro day came. Is good. Off of the pro day, then some private workouts started. Like the Carolina Panthers came back. Jacksonville came back. So now all this is going on, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm thinking that the only chance I'm going to have once draft day comes is to be one of these teams that, said that they really like me. To come back and do a private workout. That wanted to see me work out without all the other teams around. Went good. Went well. Ran 4.96 for Carolina and then 4.97 for Jacksonville. Bench press, I don't know what it was. I don't know if I went out or whatever, but the bench press was a little bit lighter, man. Like I think I hit 27 this time, and I started feeling it at about 21 that I wasn't going to be able to hit that 30 again. So it's all good. Good mark. Got it done. Pro day was a success to me. Now it's just time for the waiting game. Everything was done. Pro day was over. Took a few visits, did physicals at a couple teams' facilities, not knowing what's going to happen. Every grade out there in the Bledsoe still had me rated anywhere from 4th round to 5th round. So now it's time to see what that draft day was like. So please make sure you join me in the next episode. But before you do that, make sure that you hit subscribe. And after you do that, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time that Big Game drops brand new content. You can be notified. Game's journey to the draft is just one small part of what we got going on Big Game Sports Buzz and Big Game Entertainment. Check us out. Tuesdays, we have the Sports Chop Shop. Thursdays, Big Game Sports Buzz. And pretty soon coming to you is going to be Blurtitude and Buccaneers Hot Beat. We got different things coming. Make sure you tune in. Your boy, Big Game James, part 3 of Game's Journey to the Draft. Hey, thank you again for tuning in to Game's Journey to the Draft. Again, I'm your boy, Big Game James. Hey, but before we get started, please make sure that if you missed any of the previous episodes of Game's Journey to the Draft, click that playlist on the YouTube channel. Check them out, volumes parts 1, 2, and 3. This is part 4. And also, before we get started into this, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell and get notified every time that new content is dropped. So, I started this series because of a few questions that I got from friends and co-workers and things like that, asking me what it was like going to the NFL, and it would be cool to know the process. So, I kicked some different things off, and today is all about draft day. The NFL draft is going on right now, and it's been some crazy moves and crazy picks that people have been excited about, but also questioning, but that's the draft. You never know what's going to really happen. And, I remember that day very vividly, going into the weekend. And for those of you who've never checked me out before, don't know, I'm a former professional football player that's now blogging, vlogging, podcasting, with a show with one of my best friends that we kick off twice a week. But, I got drafted in 1998 by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I still remember that day very, very vividly. Going into the draft, that you have a grade. You know what I'm saying? Like your agent will pretty much tell you, well, they got you graded this through this. And it may be, some scouts may talk to your coaches at your university and let you know. But going into the draft, I knew that I had a late 3rd round grade all the way through 7th round, they said. So going into the weekend, I knew I was just going to enjoy the draft because this was, to me, a very stellar draft. Not just because I had a chance to get selected, but this is the infamous, should I take Peyton Manning or Ryan Leaf draft? Randy Moss was in this draft, and the Cowboys end up passing on Randy Moss and taking Greg Ellis, which I don't take what I'm saying wrong. Greg Ellis was a great pro, but Randy Moss was a Hall of Fame wide receiver. And a lot, not just the Cowboys, but that's like one of the big hiccups that a lot of people talk about. Andre Wadsworth, Takeo Spikes, Donovan Darius, Fred Taylor, a lot of big names, but there's, still a lot of players found in this draft that some people may not have known about. So I go into the weekend knowing that, I was just, nothing really was going to happen that first day for me. So just watched it, decided to have my family up from California to drive to Reno and kind of check everything out. So they came up and we decided to have a little something at the house for the 3rd day of the draft. That Sunday, knowing that was probably going to be the day that I got picked. They started. My agent called me, told me that he'd been on the phone with a couple different teams. Things looked good. That he didn't think I'd get past the 4th round. Very excited, cool. Here it is, watching the draft, watching people get selected. And the process is kind of crazy, y'all, because like what you see on TV is one part of it, but normally your phone is ringing and things are going on before they actually even see it on TV. Nowadays, they actually have the live-in cameras, more of those cameras in draft people's homes and at their places. But anyway, so 4th round comes along, things are going, my phone rings, pick it up. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, oh, sweet, cool, James, how you doing? Hey, coach, blah, 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 with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just want to let you know that our pick is coming up, and I'm really going to bat for you right now. You're the guy I want to come in and help us on this defensive line. We're going to let you know what we're going to do here soon. But, hey, be by your phone. I think it's gonna happen. So I hang up. I look at my mom and my pops. I'm like, hey, that was Jacksonville. They said that more likely they're gonna pick me with this next pick, and be ready. So they probably 3 picks before the pick was up. Next thing you know, The pick is in. My phone didn't ring, but I see the pick is in. So then all of a sudden, phone rings again. I grab it. Hey, James, coach, blah, blah, blah. I just want to say, I'm sorry. Front office wanted to go a different direction. They wanted to get a guy that was just a little bit bigger in size to play the technique we play. But hey, best of luck to you. And if you're here next round, I promise I'm going to try my best to get you in here. So there goes me thinking, cool, fourth round draft pick, Jacksonville Jaguars. Would have been had a chance to be back in Florida, you know what I'm saying, close to Georgia where I grew up. But hey, it didn't happen. Okay, not mad. Still got a lot of picks left. I just want an opportunity and a chance. Time goes by. Um, goes by watching get to the end of the fourth round. I pretty much know now that I'm going to be a fifth round pick, look like. Fourth round's almost over. All right, cool. Fifth round, I could take it. Not as much signing bonus money as what I was hoping for and what I was going to want, but it's all right. You know, I'll take it. It's dream come true, right? Fifth round comes. I get a call from the Indianapolis Colts. Hey, James, this is so and so and so and so for the Indianapolis Colts, and I just want to say, you know, we're looking to make a move on you right here, and hey, we like everything you did. We like your film, so be ready to go. All right, cool. Pick goes in. Name doesn't come up. Call back. I had to go the other direction. Now I'm getting frustrated. It's okay. Relaxing, trying to watch a little bit more. A couple more picks go by. Agent calls me. Hey man, I got a really good feeling that the Ravens might make a play for you here soon. Had a good talk with Ozzie Newsome, and we're gonna see what's going on, man. They really like you a lot. Just got off the phone with this guy in the department. Hey, don't be surprised if the Ravens make a move to bring you in here. Cool. The Ravens. I get to go play with Ray Lewis. Oh my God, this is gonna be off the chain. No, Ravens pick come. They get somebody else. Like, oh man. All right. Now I'm just like, you know what? The heck with this draft. I don't care no more. I've been watching football all weekend. Even I don't care. Whatever happens, happens. If I'm a free agent, whatever. So I put the remote control down on the TV. I go lay down in the room, in my bedroom, in my apartment, and I was just like, you know what? God, I pray something happens, but whatever's gonna be is gonna be. I'm gonna try my best not to worry about it. Now I will say this for a 22-year-old person, this is like I said, probably one of the most strenuous times in your life because not only are you hoping to live your dream of what you've always wanted to do, you're wanting to make all these people around you proud. You want to represent your family, your university. You want to show that you have a skill set to do what a small percentage and fraction of people in this world can do, right? So it's a stressful time. So I lay down. My mom came in and said, "Hey, don't worry, everything's gonna be fine. Just hang in there. You know, why don't you come on back out and let's just keep watching." I was like, I'll be out in a second. So I lay there on the bed, just looking up at the ceiling, just pretty much thinking about every football moment I think I've ever had in my life. Um, Thinking about why I started loving the game because of my grandfather and my cousin, who y'all might see on the show commenting a lot, Ron Lamb. You know, they made me fall in love with the game of football. And so like now for me, this was not just for me. This was for everybody. This was for those people that made me fall in love with the game. This was for Coach Kane at American High School, who told me that I could do whatever I wanted to do if I put my mind to it. This is for Bo Levette, who picked me up on the yellow bus to make sure I got to football practice every day because my mom didn't have a way to get me there because she had to work. Um, this is for, you know, Coach Alt, Coach Johnson, Coach Atkins, Coach Wilson, all those defensive coaches, Coach Tisdale, who said that, hey, JC, man, you're a hell of a football player. We think you got a bright future beyond college. You know, so now it's turned into that. This is for those guys that played before me, like a Dave Miller, who I know had the potential to play in the NFL that didn't, that I looked up to and I admired on my team. You know, now I'm thinking like, damn, if I don't make it, I let these people down. Lo and behold, I'm still laying there, all those crazy thoughts running through my head, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. If I don't make it, if I want to even go to free agent round, if I want to deal with that, if I call the teams in Canada back and, you know, go play in Canada, or Do I just take the internship at the TV station and start a career in journalism that I went to school for? You know what I'll do? Million things racing through my head. I'm in the room. I don't have nothing with me, just lights off. Phone start ringing, ring, ring. And back here, it's old school cordless phone. We had a caller ID box that we had to run the phone in that the box displayed. So my mom said, James, come get the phone, come get the phone. I was like, what is she yelling for? I was like, I opened doors. Well, she said, it's the Buccaneers, it's the Buccaneers. It said Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the caller ID. And so I picked the phone up, and lo and behold, I still remember this conversation like it was yesterday. He was like, James, how you doing? This is Coach Tony Dungy with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I still get crazy thinking about it now. My jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yeah, coach, how's it going? But I also talked to a position coach earlier. This is the head coach now, I know. I didn't know what I was going to hear. I didn't know. I was like, hey, we want you. But, so he's like, hey, this Coach Dungy with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Congratulations. How do you feel about being a Buccaneer? I said, thank you, coach. Thank you. You will not be disappointed. He said a couple other people want to talk to you. Monty Kiffin got on the phone. Rob Marinelli got on the phone. Tim Ruskell, Jerry Angelo, and the scout, in the gym and the personnel department, the Rich McKay. Congratulations. They said, hey, go make sure you're in front of the TV. We're turning your name in now. Go back out, sit back down, get the remote control. I hit record on the VCR, turn the TV up, and it's Mel Kiper and these guys on stage talking about any and everything. This is late in the draft where the picks are coming in fast and they're just covering airtime. And all of a sudden it says current selection. And then the number comes up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, James Cannida, pick 175. And in my mind, I was like, cool, I did it. But I knew that the journey had just begun. My phone started ringing off the hook, family members, friends, coaches, and I just remember it's funny and it's emotional still at the same time, but I cracked up laughing when so I'm on the phone talking to all these people and then getting the TV ready. My mom was like, "What they say? What they say?" And y'all know how parents can be in moms. What they say? What's going on? What's going on? And I was like, "The Buccaneers are picking me right now." My mom just said, "Thank you, Jesus," and she took off running out the front door, and it was just so funny. And then my stepfather, who was like the coolest dude in the world, who just always had like one tone, never showed a lot of emotion, just started pumping his fist and said, yes, yes, I knew it. I knew it. So for all those people and some that are gone and not here anymore, to think about that moment, being able to share it with them, being able to make that dream come true, being able to say that they had a part to play in me having success, because I can sit up and tell you that I was a hell of an athlete and I was a hell of a football player, but I had a hell of a supporting cast. I had a great group. My agent, like I said in the first piece, went to bat, never lied to me, told me along the way what the journey was going to be like, what to expect, but that feeling, and then you think that it's over there and it's really not. Now the hard work really begins, because so after the pick was in, I got called back by the team secretary to set up travel arrangements for the mandatory mini camp the next week. And when you get down there and you realize that there's a lot of people that want to do what you do. There's a lot of, they had their draft picks, and they also had a bunch of free agents that came in, and you talking about, guys that could play, guys that went to big time Division I football programs, all fighting to get ready to make a 53-man roster. And here it is, I'm looking up where I get a chance to go play with Warren Sapp, John Lynch, Hardy Nickerson, Derek Brooks, Yeah, Donnie Abraham. And in my draft class, Jacquez Green and Brian Kelly were picked in the second round. Jamie Duncan was a third round pick. Todd Washington, fourth round. No fifth round pick. Sixth round was me and Shevin Smith, God rest his soul, Treo. Um, and seventh round was Chance McCarthy. And so, when you bring in a group of guys and you're going into a system that's becoming known for one of the best defenses in the National Football League, and a black head coach, which was also like just a little bit of a crazy situation, just to know the stature of Tony Dungy, what he was known for as a defensive coordinator, and now what he was bringing to the NFL as a minority head coach. And I had a chance to go in and get ready to learn under him. So there's a lot of people I got to thank, and because of the lengthiness of this and so much more that goes into it, I'm probably gonna bring you guys a part 5 to this to let you guys know what mini camp is like, and then what training camp is like. So, hey, it's your boy, Big Game James. Y'all can laugh at me for getting a little choked up. It's all good, but it's like I said, it's a life altering memory that you never forget. That you're able to tell people that you're a part of that small percentage that have a chance to get drafted and be a part of the best fraternity in the world, the National Football League. You have to love it. Again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. If y'all want to see my regular content, please tune in to Big Game Sports Buzz, part of Big Game Entertainment. Big Game Sports Buzz Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Time on YouTube and Facebook. And then we upload that audio to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and now also Amazon Music. And make sure you check out me and the crew in the Sports Chop Shop, where we bring you that barbershop banter in one place, talking about everything sports and life. What's going on? It's your boy, Big Game James. Thank you for tuning in to Games Journey to the Draft, Part 4, Draft Day.